It's not a time to have a protest. If you protest in a PR election, you may end up with an extremist party who will do nothing for you. I think people need good representation. We've worked very hard over the last 10 years in this region to deliver the best benefits for the region. We're determined to do that. I won't be distracted personally by all of these discussions because I have a job to do in making sure that I deliver for my constituents.
What about that, Mr Straw, the fact that discontent may bolster the vote for the far right?
Well, there is that danger. It's a danger for all the three mainstream parties, and this period about the expenses scandal has obviously been...
Because they're fueling their fire, that, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I mean, as Arlene's just said, the idea that if you vote for the BNP, you're going to resolve the problem of MPs' expenses, by God you won't, but what you will do is sow discontent and discord with people. You won't get a single penny for this region. You just damage its reputation in a far more long-term way than you would do than, say, the expenses problem has caused. And the other thing is this, of course, when you have midterm elections, and these elections, in fact, are not coinciding with elections in the major metropolitan centres in the northwest. So turnout is a challenge. Of course, there may be people who are tempted to say we're going to exercise a protest. But the fundamental choice at this election remains the same at any election. Arlene and her colleagues have done a phenomenal job for the Northwest in the European Parliament. There are centres, including this centre we're speaking from, which have only come to Manchester as a result, in significant part, of the campaigning by Arlene. And there's loads more they do in order to bolster jobs, industry, investment in this area. And I see it week by week. That's why we're asking people to vote for their Labour candidates.
Do people talk to you about the ID cards? Common across Europe, going to be introduced in Manchester, and there's a bit of discontent about them. People aren't very keen on the ID card here.
Well, it's come up. Manchester's going to be a pilot area for that, and I think people in Manchester will show whether the ID card is wanted or not. But frankly, I think we have debates in the UK that are very different from other European countries. Everyone else has a residence card, or they have a card that they can show where they come from. And many of my Spanish colleagues say to me they don't understand why we have this debate, because they say the only way they know who's in Spain is because of what they call these residence cards. So I think, we need to have a little bit of perspective on this. I think people are concerned about their civil liberties, about privacy, but you get more information on your Sainsbury's Nectar card, perhaps, than an ID card.
Much more. And if you've got one of these loyalty cards, as I've got two, the supermarkets know much more about you than ever the government will.